Welcome back. Dan Ohlweiler was with me today.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Sterling Financial Advisors. And today we're talking about how safe is your safe money.
Safe money.
Yes. So explain that.
Well, everybody has a different opinion as to what is safe. You know, obviously, I have people come into our office and they'll say, well, I think I'm pretty safe. I'm well diversified. I have 10 different mutual funds. Well, diversification isn't having just 10 different mutual funds. It's the type of mutual fund or the type of things. You know, I had somebody in yesterday that says, well, I think I'm okay because I'm in what they call a target date fund. And a target date fund says that tell us when you're going to retire and we'll start shifting the risk from growth stocks to more bonds and things like that.
Interesting.
So everybody has a different opinion. Interestingly enough, I was doing some research a while back and I found that target date funds back in 2008, when we had the big stock market crash, ranged anywhere from a -3% all the way up to a -44%.
Wow.
So depending upon when you're retiring, it'll be, but safe money is always a different opinion to everybody. You know, everybody think, well, I'm going to have safe money. I'm going to go put it in the bank. You can do that. The problem with it is you're not earning anything.
Yes, and that's the rub in all this. It's not like what we've talked about many times years and years ago, where your safe money and a CD, which is one of the first ones on your list here. And I can remember at one time they were earning 10, 12%. That was really safe money and great returns.
The unfortunate thing about when we were earning 8 or 10% on our CDs, inflation was 7%.
That's right.
You know, so it's a kind of the catch-22 situation. When we have high interest rates, generally we have higher inflation and things along that line. And so we can go into CDs, but we're just not making anything. Most of the time, major wirehouses, the Merrill Lynch's, the TD Ameritrades or whatever, you know, Charles Schwab, their answer to safe or risk is moving from stocks to bonds. That's their answer. And unfortunately, in a low interest rate environment, the odds are interest rates are going to probably, hopefully, if you're a saver, start going up. I've mentioned in my seminars before, we kind of have this conflict in society between the spenders and the savers. Spenders want low interest rates. I want a low mortgage, a low car interest, you know, those are the type of things. And so anytime you're a spender, you want low interest rates. If you're a saver, you want high interest rates.
Now, Dan, I've known you for a long time. This is something that you need to create in this, you know, where we can have low interest rates when you buy something, and high interest rates. Can you do that?
I'd have.
You with your crystal ball.
You know those ticket tapers that you have at the post office next in line? I could have that at my office if I could be able to get, you know, that kind of a product. You know,
that would be great.
It's unfortunate, but you know, for me and how we work with people, there's really 3 areas that we look at as safe money. It's bank accounts, CDs, money market accounts. That's what we call cash equivalents. Okay. Then there are treasuries, or treasury notes, or treasury bills, or treasury bonds. The difference between those, a treasury bill, treasury notes, and treasury bonds, is just the length of the term. So you can go into those, but those aren't paying very much because they're so secure. And then you have guaranteed insurance products, fixed annuities or something, life insurance or those types of things where your principal is guaranteed. So as far as safe money is concerned, bonds tend to be more conservative, but they're still exposed to market risk if interest rates go up. And so if we're sitting in a low interest rate environment and people are saying, well, go into bonds to protect yourself, the problem is when interest rates start going up, the value of our mutual fund bonds or bond mutual funds start to go down, and so
Right.
you can be exposed. We kind of put bonds in a moderate risk category
Yeah.
rather than safe category because there is some market volatility there.
Now let me ask you a question just in general. If someone were to directly invest in a bond for a company.
Okay. A corporate bond
Yeah,
or whatever.
corporate bond, yes, the interest rate part, if you wanted to sell that bond before its maturity,
Market value.
the market value. However, if you kept that bond to
held
maturity,
it for-
your principal is safe.
Your principal is safe
Right.
as long as the company is good and everything.
And you'll be getting that interest, whatever
You'll
was
be getting
guaranteed.
the interest.
Right. So,
What affects it is the market value
Right.
on the bond.
Yeah.
Just like a stock, you
Yeah.
know, if you hold on to the stock and it comes back, well, everything's okay. Unfortunately, our time frame for in our retirement years becomes different.
Yeah,
How we
yeah.
invest our money at age 45 is different than how we invest at age 70 or 75.
Right,
Or
right.
at least it should be.
yes.
And so a lot of times we'll sit down and, in my opinion of what safe or conservative is many times different than what the person's definition is.
Right.
And so our challenge is let's quantify what is safe and what is conservative to you as opposed to what I think it should be.
Right.
Now we can give input and things along that line, and we have programs where we can go in and determine kind of what your risk tolerance is.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to risk this much of your money in order to gain this much money, and those are the types of things. And we can kind of focus in on what it really is meant to you as far as risk tolerance. And so they kind of define what their risk tolerance is, not me. And so as we do that, then we try to structure a portfolio around that risk tolerance rather than me saying, well, this is what you should be.
Right. And it depends if, you know, again, you've said this many times, you know, you want to sleep at night, you want to,
Right.
and those who want to sleep at night, so to speak, probably are going to be earning less.
Well, the problem is many times, I mentioned in our seminars that people become married to their tools. You
Right.
know, whatever investments they have. I've had these mutual funds. I've been in the stock market for the last 30 years. You know, it's always treating me well. Yeah, it goes down, but it always comes back up.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we were working. You
Yeah.
know, we were age 40 and we had 25 years before we were going to retire. Sometimes we don't have that time frame to make it back up.
Yeah.
And so, you know, many times, not always, but many times we find that whether or not people make 4 or 5% on their money doesn't change their lifestyle if they make 8 or 10.
Right, right.
And if it's not going to change your lifestyle, why do we risk it?
Right, right.
And the reason we risk it is because our greed button gets stuck.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, if I can make 8 or 10, yeah, but you can also lose 8 or 10 or
Right.
20 or whatever
Right.
it is. And so defining what safe money is narrow. I mean, I have people, you know, protect my money, Dan, and give me 8%. I'd have people lined out the door if I could do that.
Right.
I heard driving down to the studio today, you know, about a real estate investment. If you're not getting 18 to 20% on your money,
Right.
You know, you need to call us.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you're going to get 18 to 20%, you don't get that without risk.
Right.
You know, and it's secured by, you know, commercial real estate and everything else, and it all sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not talking about the risk of that.
Yes.
In order to do that.
And at least when I hear those, and you probably listen to the same one I do, or
Right.
I've heard, because they go, well, these are secured in Hoboken, New Jersey properties. Am I right?
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I can't even go and see it. You know, what is it, a dirt lot? I don't know what it is.
And
Yeah.
when you see these properties, you'll wonder why you haven't invested
Yes.
sooner.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I mean, I tongue in cheek, but you know, you can't get an 18% return without risk.
Right.
You
right.
know, and so the key is designing a portfolio structured around your risk tolerance and making
Yeah.
sure that we have an emergency fund that you can tap in case something happens. And so setting up safe money, is my safe money safe? Well, there's three basic things: the treasuries, the guaranteed insurance products, and cash equivalents. Those monies are safe.
Yes.
Now, people will say, well, I can buy a piece of real estate. Yeah, you can, as long as you have a renter.
Yeah.
You know, if you buy it for all cash, that's okay. There's some things that always come into play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But it's a matter of designing a plan that's going to allow you to sleep at night, like I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And safe money always lets people sleep at night.
That's true.
I have people have come in and say, Dan, I have $4,000 or $5,000 or $500,000 in CDs. Why do you have so much in CDs? Well, Dan, I really don't care how much money I make. I just can't afford to what?
Right.
Lose that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so their goal is not losing money.
Right.
I can afford the 1 to 2% that I'm making in the bank. I just can't afford to lose it.
Yeah.
That's okay, but
Yeah.
there's other options that we can do for safe money.
Right.
If that fits
To give them
in
a little bit more.
Exactly.
All right.
So
I like good discussion. I like that. I know you're doing seminars right now.
we have our seminar system or series going right now. If they want to call the office, we can get them into one of our seminars. We have one next week, I think on the 1st, and then on the 6th,
Okay.
I think.
So the number is
So-
859
8900.
8900. I had to look, even though I pretty much know that. sterlingfa.com. You can go there as well and get information. And, as Dan always says, you're welcome to come there. There's no charge for somebody to come in the first time and talk to you and
somebody
see.
just want to call in and sit down and say, hey, I've got some questions about my portfolio, or can you help me? There's no charge for that, and we don't even know if we can help them or not, but we can certainly give them an opportunity.
And when Dan comes up with that formula of keeping your credit card interest low, but your savings high, then we'll let you know.
Right.
All right.
Good to see you.
Take care. Good to see you. We'll be right back.